Hello and welcome to Zambia Today. I'm your host, Faith Katai. Every year on the last Saturday of February, the Ngoni people of Eastern Province gather at Mtenguleni village in Chipata to celebrate the Nc'Wala ceremony. This festival is a Thanksgiving event where the Ngoni offer gratitude for the first harvest of the year. So on today's program, we are looking at the significance of the Nc'Wala traditional ceremony to the people of Zambia. And my guest is Director of Culture and Traditional Affairs in the Ministry of Tourism, Besi Chilemo. Madam, welcome to the program.
Thank you. And how are you?
I'm fine. So just to begin with, maybe you can explain to us what is this Nc'Wala traditional ceremony?
Thank you so much. Nc'Wala traditional ceremony is a ceremony that is celebrated by the Ngoni people of Eastern Province. It's basically a Thanksgiving ceremony which is held the last Saturday of February. And this ceremony, it then allows the Ngoni people, led by the chief, to be able to give homage to the gods on the harvest. So the celebration is very unique. It's very interesting. During the celebration, the various harvests are presented, and a bull is killed, and the blood is offered. So that marks the significance of appreciating the harvest that has come through, and also the blessings that are going to be received.
Okay, so what is the significance of the Nc'Wala traditional ceremony to the Ngoni people and the overall Zambia's cultural heritage?
So the significance of this ceremony, one, is preservation of culture. You know, it's a deep, rich culture that we have, one of the prominent cultures that we have in Zambia. It's so deep, deeply rooted in the origins of the Ngoni people. It's not only about preservation of the culture, but it's also about promoting that culture, passing on the knowledge and the information to the young ones so that they'll be able to appreciate what the Ngoni culture is all about. Through the Nc'Wala traditional ceremony, there are dances and songs that are sung, and each song, as it is sung, it has a meaning and it tells a story. The various dances, and the dance that is prominently done is a war dance. So you see the men and the women dressed in the traditional Nc'Wala costumes of animal skin, with the headgears and the symbol of the spear, are able to lift their feet, drumming and dancing to the various tunes that signify how they were able to conquer through the various wars as they came to Zambia after leaving, migrating from South Africa. So that's the significance. And like I mentioned, it also brings about the bond. Within the communities, they are able to bond and enhance that traditional bond. I'm sure you are aware that when we celebrate Nc'Wala, it's not only with the Ngoni-speaking people in Zambia, but also with the brothers from Swaziland, from South Africa, from Mozambique. So they do come also. The presence, last year we had the prince that came in, and this year we also have our brothers and sisters that are coming in again from Swaziland with the Swazi dance. So the significance really is to showcase the tradition and also to express through culture, dance and song the rich, vibrant Ngoni tradition.
Great. So last year we saw Nc'Wala started from Luangwa.
Yes.
This year, where is it starting from?
So last year it was the first time that the commemoration of the crossing of the Ruangwa River was done. So when the Ngoni people were coming in from down south, they crossed into Zambia from Ruangwa at the point where the Ruangwa River merges with the Zimbabwean border, Mozambique border, at that conference. So that's where the crossing of the Ruangwa River was demonstrated. And the commemoration was significant in the sense that it took us back to that time. And we were able to go there and see it. This year, there's an addition in terms of commemoration of Nc'Wala. So there will be a visit to Nakonde, to Mchinga province, whereas Wangendaba, the king that led the Ngoni people into Zambia, is buried. So the commemoration starts there on the 18th of February. The Ngoni people, the Ngoni organizing community, the public, all interested citizens, and this is going to be presided by the provincial minister of Mchinga province, who will be the guest of honor there. And the commemoration basically is to pay respects to the ancestor, in particular King Zwangendaba, where he's buried. The burial site has been preserved, and the National Heritage Commission, one of the agencies under the Ministry of Tourism, does take care of the site. It's properly preserved, and the commemoration will be on the 18th. And then the team will come back to Lusaka, and again this year we have the commemoration, the crossing of the Rangwa River. This is going to be held on the 21st of February, starting in the morning. We understand that this year the water levels are quite high. Where we pinched the tents last year, there's water everywhere, but a special site has been allocated, which is on a slightly higher land. Again, the commemoration will be demonstrated through the various dances, and of course, there will be speedboats that have been arranged to be able to cross to the other side, just a demonstration of what happens. Thereafter, the whole team and the general public that are interested, we all drive to Chipata. To Chipata, where various activities again have been lined up. If you allow me, I'll go ahead and just talk about the various activities that have been lined up. So with the Nc'Wala organizing committee, they've come up with a carnival, what they are calling a traditional carnival. This is on the 25th. It's going to be held on the 25th of February, and the carnival starts from ShopRite and walking all the way up to the golf club. It was very interesting last year. So we walked with all the traditional dances happening, the various MPs, the various women celebrating, war songs being sung. It was very interesting. We didn't even feel the distance. So it's an activity that I would encourage the general public to participate in and be in. But prior to this, we, as government, through the Ministry of Tourism, we've introduced a new activity that is specifically being run by Ministry of Tourism, which will always be held alongside the Nc'Wala ceremony. This one, we are calling it Culture Clinic. So Culture Clinic, basically, it's like a workshop or a cultural session where we bring schools together. So these schools have been identified. All schools around Mtengule area are going to come in one particular school, in one big hall. And we are going to have a session with the young people aged from about 10 to 15. We are basically creating awareness on the importance of culture, speaking to them on various topics. One of the topics is to give the history of course, the history of the movement of the Ngoni people, and also the history of the Zambian culture. So we have a topic that is dedicated to just the general Zambian culture. Then we have specific topics that are dedicated to talk about the Nc'Wala ceremony, because we want to ensure that the young people, as they are growing, they are understanding what is happening. You'll be surprised if you ask random questions around what is happening here. They'll maybe they'll just say it's the king that is doing this. They'll not really even understand what Nc'Wala ceremony is all about. But we want to do a different approach. We want the young ones, the Gen Zs of this country, to then understand what their culture is all about, the values, the cultural values that are there, and also to be able to understand the importance of celebrating Nc'Wala, not only Nc'Wala, but also the importance of celebrating other traditional ceremonies. We have Kuomboka, we have the Makishi, we have the various traditional ceremonies happening countrywide. So the cultural clinic is going to be held on the 24th. It's a half-day event. But during this clinic also, we are not just restricting it to talking and providing and giving out information, but there's also going to be a demonstration of the various dances, because we would like young people to also gain the skill. So the session is also about skill transfer knowledge transfer. So there will be a demonstration of the Ngoni warrior dance, and there's also a demonstration of how to make a clay pot. A clay pot has a meaning in the Nc'Wala tradition. So there will be those demonstrations. So we've gotten, facilitators have been drawn from the older generation that are rich in knowledge, and also from our provincial culture officers, those that are trained and are able to facilitate in culture. So this is a new inclusion this year. We are targeting about 200 school children. Then the following day, we hope that the school children, together with the general public, they also participate in the carnival. Thereafter, we have the significant movement of the king from Nc'Wala coming all the way. He starts in from town and goes all the way to Nc'Wala. It's massive. I don't know if you've participated in it before, but it's got very good significance. And of course, on the actual day, which is the 28th, that's when we have the main event, the Nc'Wala ceremony.
Wonderful. So as a ministry spearheading this event, what preparations have you put in place to ensure safety and security of the people coming to this ceremony?
Okay, so the ministry works closely with the organizing committee. The organizing committee is chaired by Mr. Domisani, and through the organizing committee, security measures have been put in. The Zambia police has been engaged to be part of the function, to be on standby and ensure that the motorists are observing. The RATS are also is involved. They are observing road traffic rules. In terms of security, the general public is controlled where there's a possibility of mischief. And of course, around the Nc'Wala traditional arena, it's been properly proper security has been put in place. Fencing has been put in place to just ensure that the safety measures are there, and that if there's anything that warrants the police to take action, they will be on hand to make sure that security is provided.
Great. We now pause for a short break. Don't go away.
Zambia Today is a program that keeps you informed on various government policies and programs. Join us every Tuesday at 18 hours on Zanis TV, Topstar Platform, Channel 6 DTT and 458 DTH. Don't miss.
Welcome back. In case you have just joined us, this is Zambia Today. We are discussing the significance of the Nc'Wala traditional ceremony to the people of Zambia. And my guest is Director of Culture and Traditional Affairs in the Ministry of Tourism, Bessie Chelemo. Director, this traditional ceremony, Nc'Wala, is everyone invited? Who is supposed to attend?
Thank you so much. But before I answer your question on who is supposed to attend the Nc'Wala traditional ceremony, I need to mention that traditional ceremonies are key. It's a key component of government policy, and the Zambian government does encourage participation in traditional ceremonies. In particular, our President of the Republic of Zambia has been spearheading this agenda of ensuring that traditional ceremonies are promoted. He himself takes time to participate in these traditional ceremonies. He goes around the country together with the senior government officials, the various ministers, and they are just championing the traditional ceremonies, because traditional ceremonies, like I mentioned, are very significant. Not only do they promote unity among Zambians, we are one Zambia, and as our president has been calling upon us, it's not only one Zambia, one nation, but one Zambia, one nation, one people. And as we are participating in these traditional ceremonies, giving us an opportunity to understand our different cultural diversity, Zambia has over 98 traditional ceremonies countrywide. So attending Nc'Wala traditional ceremony gives an opportunity for us to understand the way of life of the Ngoni people, the significance of Nc'Wala ceremony, and why Nc'Wala ceremony among the Ngoni people. Therefore, to answer your question, who is invited? It's everyone, every Zambian that is able to drive to Eastern Province and just have an opportunity to be part of Nc'Wala is very welcome. And as they come, be reminded that we need to be in our Ngoni gear. If you are not in Ngoni and you are coming from Western Province and you want to showcase the Misinsi, the Siziba, everyone is welcome. Everyone is welcome to wear their own traditional outfit from where they are coming from. You know, in the Northwestern and Western province, their traditional gear is almost similar. They also have the same, for the men, they have the long skirts and the swine. It's called the swine, but it's slightly different from the Western province. So for the Western province, the Nc'Wala, you put in a white shirt in there, and mostly it's all shades of chitenge, but red. It can be any chitenge design, but the color red should be prominently. So that then signifies the Nc'Wala and Msinsi wear of the Western province. But this traditional wear should not just be limited to the people of Western province. Every other Zambian who loves that kind of outfit, they can be able to wear. But for the Ngoni Nc'Wala traditional ceremony, the significance of this ceremony is also about the gear that they wear. They have a lovely headgear made of animal skin. There's also the beautiful beads that the women are expected to wear around the neck that are significant to the women that are attending Nc'Wala ceremony. And for the men, they also adorn in the animal skin. It's kind of like a skirt. I'm sure it has a name. It's kind of like skirts, but made from animal skin, and that is what is worn with the Ngoni songs that are sung and sung. So it's quite interesting. So as people are coming to attend this particular ceremony, both the carnival and the actual ceremony on the 28th, it's important for them to know that we need to be in our Ngoni gear, or we need to be in our Zambian traditional wear. It should be a Zambian traditional wear that should be able to showcase the rich, vibrant traditional wear that we have as a country.
Awesome. How does the Nc'Wala traditional ceremony contribute to the tourism and economic growth of Eastern Province and overall Zambian
Overall
economy?
culture has a lot to play in the economic development of the country. So the value of culture, the value addition that culture brings to the economic development of the country is huge. So if we start with the Nc'Wala ceremony itself in Eastern Province, you see that during this time around, accommodation facilities, all of them, they've already been booked. Actually, what happens when you go to Eastern Province, you find that the prices are even hiked. They are hiked as much as 5,000 per room, and people are still able to afford to pay. So the price of accommodation goes high. But this price of accommodation, in essence, should not go high if we then encourage the private sector to take advantage of these opportunities and build more lodges and build more accommodation facilities. So when we have more accommodation facilities that is available, the price of accommodation will be affordable. But also, in the short term, we could also encourage the citizens of Eastern Province to be able to open up their homes, furnish them well, open up their homes and be able to provide that accommodation. That is one way that the incomes and their livelihoods will be able to improve. Not only is the business booming in the hospitality industry in terms of accommodation and the food that is eaten, but also the transport industry, because all roads are leading to Eastern Province. So we then see that in terms of fuel, in terms of transport, there's also an increase. I'm sure the records and the books of accounts during this period will look better. The figures will be better. So we also talk about communication, because during that time, there's a jam of communication. Everyone is talking to each other. Everyone is wanting to talk about culture, want to talk about Nc'Wala. So in terms of use of the network, use of telephone, etc. But we also look at the small-scale business, women and men. So for me, I think that's what really touches my heart, because during Nc'Wala, the small-scale business, men and women, they come out of Ntengule and everywhere, and they display their products. So it's an opportunity for them to display the various merchandise in terms of clothing, and also the small scale farmers. They also are able to display their produce. For me, that's the time when I really buy a lot of vegetables, because in around the Nc'Wala area there, they are cheaper. So you are coming back to Lusaka with fresh vegetables that are very affordable. But the bottom line, what are we saying? We are saying what are the opportunities during Nc'Wala in terms of economic development and for the people of Eastern Province. The impact of Nc'Wala is big, because then it enhances their businesses all around. There's no business that is not affected. Every form of business, just think whatever you can think of is booming during this time, be it in terms of arts performances. We always have arts groups that go there and they'll perform throughout the week. So that is good for the artists, our artists that are in creative industry. They also have an opportunity to showcase their talent and also to make money that improves on their livelihoods. So holding of traditional ceremonies is key, not only in Eastern Province, but countrywide, because it's got low-hanging fruits, whereby families' livelihoods improve within a short time. But in the long time, what is it that we can do? I think this is the discussion that we are discussing. And to start the ball rolling, each traditional ceremony through the Ministry of Tourism and the Ministry of Local Government, spearheaded by the central government, we were encouraged to ensure that each traditional ceremony has a traditional arena that is built around it. And around that facility of a traditional arena, there should be a market. So for alongside each traditional ceremony, we do encourage as government to have markets that are set aside, to also have health facilities that are set aside, so that all the services that are required by the people that are attending traditional ceremonies are within reach. The police unit is within reach, the health unit is within reach, the market for food, for clothing, and whatever you want, your crafts, your curiosities. If you want to get a souvenir, take back to Lusaka, you are able to reach out and just be there. But above all, I think the other opportunity that Nc'Wala ceremony has is to increase on our tourist numbers, because we've put this on social media. We keep hoping that there will be more international tourists visiting our traditional ceremonies, including Nc'Wala traditional ceremony. So this is also an opportunity for the tourism sector to increase on its international tourist arrivals through Fue Airport or even Lusaka International Airport. So the opportunities are vast, but the bottom line is, yes, culture has a lot to contribute to the economic development of this nation.
Great. Do you think, Director, culture like Nc'Wala traditional ceremony, these traditional ceremonies, for example, the Nc'Wala traditional ceremony, they help to promote unity and cultural exchange, especially among Zambians and the visitors?
Yes, the traditional ceremonies, including Nc'Wala, has also been used as a platform to promote cultural exchange. So from about 4 years now, maybe even 3 years now, the head of state has really encouraged that there should be that, for each traditional ceremony, we should be able to have chiefs that attend that particular traditional ceremony from other parts of Zambia. The whole essence is cultural exchange. The whole essence is to share information, share ideas, and also learn and appreciate the culture of that particular area. So even for this year's traditional ceremony at Nc'Wala, we expect a lot of other chiefs from around the country to be part of these ceremonies. So just to give a bit of statistics, last year when we did our statistics in terms of the number of chiefs that attended various traditional ceremonies, we had over 66 chiefs that were able to attend various traditional ceremonies. So for Nc'Wala, yes, it's a platform for cultural exchange, for sharing of information and knowledge.
Wonderful. As we come to the end of the program, what is your word to the people attending the ceremony this year?
I have maybe just 2 simple words. The first one, look out for the Ngoni gear. You don't want to be the odd one out. Look out for the Ngoni gear. They are selling it all over town, in Nc'Wala, everywhere. Make sure you have your gear. Come ready come ready to enjoy Nc'Wala traditional ceremony. It's one of the key traditional ceremonies that we have as a country. Let's appreciate it. Let's support it. It's an opportunity for us to identify with who we are as Zambians.
Director, thank you so much for coming through to Zambia today.
Thank you.
Viewers, that's all we had for you on Zambia Today, and this has been Faith Katai. Thank you for watching.